both shoulders, still never walk with hunchback. After all these haters told me get my weight up, so I jacked up on steroids to make it from minus to majors. Used to be a broke little nigga. Now all I do is count my papers, so why should I apologize for the life that I done earned? Got my finger up to the critics like, fuck them, let the track burn. If the flow hostile and I'm hot now, what the fuck would I wait my turn? I call me a problem child, I was acting wild, live life with no concern. So for all those take shots, I might be saying prayers be earned. Rest in peace to your career, where the fuck y'all gon' learn? Cause I eat beef like Shark Week or a beef for the whole year. And I won't stop till I'm on top like a shit down like a sheriff. Excuse me. Can you hold my mic for a second? Cause I feel like I'm the shit, nigga. Cause I gotta do my dance. All I need is a new Bugatti and I'ma be legit, nigga.
Yo.
What's good, homeboy?
We are back in business, folks.
Already know what it is, man. We on episode 6.
Episode 6, fight night.
Yeah, baby.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good one. This is
I actually took notes this time for the fight.
Look at
256. I actually sat down, watched the fight. He said, you know what? I want to know what I'm talking about a little bit. So, I'm gonna sit here and take notes about what I see in a fight so Corey can't beat up on me like he usually do. So I made sure to do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? I think I took notes until the Kevin Holland fight, because after the Holland fight, I didn't need notes anymore. Number
one, you picked the right you picked the right card. That's for damn sure. I mean, you just get into it.
Say less.
Is that fight of the year? That's the Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. Was that fight of the year?
It's close.
It's close. In the discussion. It's in the discussion for sure.
It's close. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to call it fight of the year because the Joanna and the way
mine.
That was this year.
That's mine.
So I don't know if I want to put it above that before going back and watching that fight, because I remember that fight was fucking crazy. Like Joanna had that big ass lump on her head. Like yeah. So I don't want to say that it was a better fight than that yet. I'm gonna go back and watch it like tonight.
Right.
But it's close. It's up there.
It's in that discussion for sure, and I think that was the Wei Li Zhang JoJo fight is the one for me still. Although I do need to go back and watch it again as well. But I just remember that was a fight. There's certain fights where I'm like, fuck it, I'm not trying to score this fight no more. And that was Wei Li. That's what Wei Li and JoJo was.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here. I'm like, how can I call this round when they both hit each other with like 50 significant shots every round, back and forth? I'm not gonna try it.
Right.
It was ridiculous. But Figueiredo Moreno I didn't know it was gonna be this good. I thought it'd be a really good fight. I didn't know it would be this good. And it was out fucking standing. Shout out to both of them. Because 3 weeks ago, they both won another fight. So to then get back in the fight mode, and people don't like, you go through a lot in camp to get yourself to that point to really fight. So to then turn right back around 3 weeks later and put on a performance like that, hats off to both of them, because that was a fucking insane fight. Simple as that.
Did you agree with the majority draw, or who did you have? I want to know. I didn't ask this whole week because I wanted to know, like,
very sure,
who you possibly had winning the fight.
I do agree with the judges. I had it a draw. I had Moreno taking 2 and 3, with that third being the 10-8, because Figueiredo lost a point, rightfully so. And usually I am like, you got to give guys a warning. That looked like a WWE straight low blow.
That was a hard shot, because even when, like, if you're a guy, you when you see it happen, if you clench your stomach and be like, "Ooh," like it was one of those, bro. It was real bad.
I think I didn't even see it when it happened. I think I was looking away or something, and they showed the replay. And like usually, a lot of times with the low blows and why they don't take points off immediately, it's like, okay, you see it. It was like a leg kick. The dude tried to check it, or he moved, or something happened. It's like you see what he was trying to do. And especially on the first one, you don't normally take a point. That man kicked straight. That was 6-12. That was 6-12, straight up and down. Maybe he was trying to throw a front kick, but his toes were pointed. So I don't even feel like he was trying to throw like a front kick. It was straight there.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And then he poked him in the eye before that, so that's probably why he was like,
a couple times. He kind of like when Moreno would get him on the ground, like his push up on his face was kind of eye gougy a little bit. It was a little borderline there. But I did think he recovered. He came back because I thought he was gassed by the end of that second, middle of that third. And maybe that was his plan, and he got a little second win there. But I did think he took 4 and 5, and I had called it a draw. If he's my Twitter, I said I called it a draw. So I do think that was the right call to me. And if that means we get a rematch, I am here for it.
I'm close. I don't have him winning 2 and 3. I got him winning 2 and 4. I got Moreno winning 2 and 4. And then I got, of course, since Figueiredo couldn't win the third round, I got that as the tie.
Yeah, so you have that as the 9-9. So you have Moreno winning, or is that still a draw? I might be off.
There's still a draw.
Because that's a 9-9. Yeah, that'll. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I scored the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because
I did think 2 and 4 were close. I did think 2 and 4 both were kind of like, and 3 for that matter. 2, 3, and 4 are all kind of pretty close. I think Figueiredo got 1 and 5 pretty clearly. I thought Moreno did enough in 2 and 3, and but 2 was close and 4 was close. So it could have gone a couple different ways. I wouldn't have been mad at it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be a rematch, right? There's no way you can go to any other fight. There's sorry to the 125-pound division, but
there's nobody else I really want to see for the fight for the title anyway, because Figueiredo's going to run right through him. So you might as well just go ahead and make that fight again, like especially after how good the fight actually was. You know what I'm saying? Even though if you make the rematch, I kind of got Figueiredo beating his ass because Figueiredo was sick the night before. I had to go to the hospital that morning. Didn't get out till like 2 a.m. or some shit.
Very true.
Had to be transported back to the hospital after the fight. So obviously he still wasn't feeling well.
Very true. Very, very true. He went through some shit. And both of them are big 125ers, but I mean, Figueiredo could go to 135 and fit in easily. Like that's zero problem. So yeah, he's a big guy. And yeah, even like looking at the rankings, like number 2 is Joseph Benavidez. We don't need to see that again.
I don't need to see that again, bro.
The only one is the Askarov, who I think if he didn't fight was supposed to fight recently. I think it might have gotten canceled or something. That might be wrong about that. But he and Moreno actually to a draw in last September. He and Moreno fought to a draw. He's number 3. He's the only one, but he ain't got no kind of name or anything that you could make it any kind of real buzz. The buzz is you got to run this back. And you do. You got to run this back, Dana. And I think Losa, you ain't have to. Oh, not John Jones on an off week. You're wrong for that.
Hell, right before the fight, Loso. You don't care if it's the off week or not. John don't care about none of that, bro. John will stay up the whole night and sniff cocaine before his fight.
and then take down a robber, and then go and beat somebody the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's
Shout out to
special.
John Jones, Gerard's
Special
cousin,
talent.
by the way.
Right. Yep. That's his 16th cousin. Something like that. way removed. Co-main on this card was shut up, Gerard. Let's let that be your only contributions to the show. Co-main event: Charles Oliveira beat dog shit out of Tony Ferguson.
Saw it coming.
Dog walked him.
Saw it coming.
You never know with these, because you've seen it both ways. You've seen it where guys get to that point to either like a title fight or close to a title fight. Robbie Lawler was one. When Robbie made his run before he won the belt, he lost the fight to Johnny Hendricks, the first fight, and you're like, man, that might have been his only shot. And then he turns around, wins a couple more fights, wins the belt. So it's like maybe Ferguson could be one of those. You're never quite sure.
Right.
Charles Oliveira is on a different level right now. I think that's 8 straight for him, something like that. Mm-hmm. He is fucking people up. He's running through people. He's now up to number 3 in the UFC rankings. The next pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken, is Conor and Poirier. So if Khabib ain't coming back, which Dana says he thinks he still will, Dana believes he can talk Khabib into coming back. And
a lot of people think. I'm starting to feel like that groundswell of people saying, yeah, Khabib's coming back. Like, I'm starting to hear more and more people starting to be like, nah, he's coming back. He just kind of needs some time away.
Right. Remove yourself when you got a lot going on like that. Yeah, like remove yourself, get away from it for a little bit. Dana thinks that Khabib's dad wanted him to make 30-0, and he thinks that'll be in the back of his head, and that's what'll bring him to come back. If he does, do you go Khabib and Oliveira, or do you go Khabib versus? I do believe Khabib when he says he has zero interest in a rematch between either Conor or Poirier.
Me too.
Do you do Khabib and Oliveira if he decides to come back? Because he's 3 now, so that's the. I think Gaethje's 1, who I would have put him in the same category that Khabib doesn't care about rematching with, even though he didn't mention him by name in that instance. 2 is Poirier, and then 3 is Oliveira. So,
me personally, I don't see Khabib coming back anytime like soon. So I see Khabib coming back probably around the same time that he fought Gaethje, maybe a little bit after, probably like around this time next year.
Like the end of
the end of next year,
end of 2021.
That leaves time for you to have the Conor fight, and then just have Oliveira face
the winner of that.
The winner of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that sounds like it would be the best option at this point, because you give Khabib more time. And then at the same time, that gives you time enough to at least figure out what the hell Khabib wants to do. And then if Khabib's still not giving you any indication that he's coming back, since you don't want to put the belt on the line and strip him for the Conor Poirier fight, you might as well just make it either for the interim championship or for the championship for the next fight. Like that's what I would do if I was Dana. Now I don't know how big of a draw Oliveira is going to be. I don't know if he's just because you kind of beat Tony Ferguson, your name is out there, but I don't know if he's going to hold like that weight. You know what I'm saying? For him to move the needle for Dana to be like, yeah, that's definitely the fight. But according to the rankings and the performance he just put on, I don't see why you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead have him face the winner of the Poirier McGregor fight, and then that just be for the title or the number one contendership to give Khabib more time.
He definitely doesn't have that name now, though it's building. But if he were to get that, if you were to do the winner of that fight and win that fight, then I think you have enough of a run, enough of a name, and enough entry. This is someone new who is a ridiculous jiu-jitsu guy. I don't know how Tony Ferguson didn't tap.
Armbar was crazy.
I was holding my arm for like.
Yeah, that armbar was crazy. Yeah, definitely.
You should have tapped out. That was ridiculous. I think there'd be enough style intrigue in that if he were to take that next fight and win that, I do think there'd be some good calls for that. Although, I mean, Conor might have his hands full with that YouTube boy. He went to like he went at Conor's homeboy, like threw water balloons at him or some shit. Like in a truck, like he was in a truck. My brother sent me the video of like he was like calling him a bitch or a pussy, and like he was in his truck in like the bed of a truck and threw like water balloons at like Conor's trainer or his boy, and then drove off like literal 12-year-old shit.
Yo, see, you don't fuck. Like, one thing I learned from Conor, you can say whatever you want about him, but you don't fuck with his people. Like, that's something you don't do.
He's ridiculously loyal.
So Jake better chill out, because at this point, bro, don't think Conor won't pop up at where you at. Like Conor, like people say a lot of shit about Conor, about what he says.
Conor's a fighter.
Conor backs up every word he says.
Conor is a fighter. Like let's be clear. Conor is a fighter. You know how I know Conor's a fighter? Because he don't have to fight no more, and he's still fighting. Did anyone else see Proper 12 everywhere during that Errol Spence Danny Garcia fight? Because I did.
It's my favorite drink.
I did. I ain't even tried it yet. I heard it wasn't great, but I might have to try it.
What?
Okay, that'll be my next bottle.
Tell him stop hating, bro.
I heard some bad things. I love my Irish whiskey. I heard some iffiness about it, but I'll give it a try.
It was good. It was good to me. Maybe I'm not like brushed off on my whiskey like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I mean? But hey, look, it was lit to me. Like I'll
give it a try because I do respect the game. But yeah, Conor doesn't have to fight anymore.
By the way, quick tidbit: Ken Austin, his business partner, I'll put a post up on Instagram with the Proper 12 in my dinner, and he liked the shit.
There you go.
Proper 12. And I'm gonna see about getting that sponsorship. I want to see about getting that.
We're gonna see that. Maybe I'll pick some up before this card on Saturday. I might do that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm down for Oliveira and the winner of that fight. That makes sense. For interim title or for the regular belt, whatever way you want to do it. That would seem to be the most likely way to go.
Yeah.
Now we got to touch on your boy.
My man's, yo. Hey, look, I told you. Boy, Kevin Holland, man. Like, what more can you say at this point? Like, what more can you say? Conor McGregor 2.0. That's the
man I've seen people knock out people with up kicks. You still got a decent amount of power in your leg. You're not supposed to have someone out with a hook from your back. That's not his leg. I don't think his feet weren't even planted. Like his feet weren't planted.
Yeah, he used his right leg to slingshot.
Like he just
punched him dead in the forehead, bro.
What the fuck kind of power do you have to have? I don't care. Oh, maybe Jacare's older. He ain't got shit. I don't give a fuck. You don't knock no one. And he was out on his feet. Then he kind of like Undertaker set up real quick on like a knee and rocked him again, and then stood up and finished the job.
You know what's even more crazy if you pay attention to the replay, right? He actually rocked Souza from his back, like without the slingshot.
Yes.
Like he rocked him from his back, and Souza backed up for a second and then moved back forward to go back and grapple. And then that's when he pushed him off and then slingshotted and then punched him in the head and then finished him. So he really, if you think about it, he really 1-inch punched Souza's ass.
I'll give him credit for that.
He 1-inch punched him.
He submitted a late, just like we had a late submission into the fight of the year. He definitely submitted a late submission to knockout of the year, because I almost beyond words. Like you appreciate stuff, especially as MMA is continuing to build. You know, it's hard to do stuff you've never seen.
Yeah.
And you
right.
just don't, like, off a hook, off of his back. Because as anyone with any minor tidbit of knowledge knows, your power is generated from your lower body, from your legs. You plant, and you see Tyson. When you plant, you turn them hips, look at them Tyson highlights. That's what it is. So to knock someone out with none of that,
and then to finish him like Kung Lao on Mortal Kombat.
Right, that was a fatality.
For real, it's my favorite move.
What it was. Jax is going to do that in the next Mortal Kombat. Like, they're going to get at to Jax. Like, that's what it's going to be. Because it was ridiculous. I'm just, sir. Kevin Holland, give that. And now I think he's up to either number 10 or 11 in the rankings. So he's going to get him a good fight now.
And Souza should be ranked because he just jumped up.
I think he was ranked, but I don't know if he is anymore. Jacare's out of the rankings now.
Yeah. But he should have been ranked because didn't he fight at 205?
I think so. But this was at 185.
He was ranked before that.
Right. You're right. Holland is now number 10 in the rankings. Darren Till, what up? Darren Till, what you want to do?
You want him to fight Darren Till next?
Darren Till, what's up? That's what I want. That's what I want. Let's go. We gonna go. You look. I'm sorry. Dana White didn't put it. Shit. Darren Till is one of the examples of Dana White will push his white boys up like that in a second. Oh, you beat one dude. Let's put you up against the number 3 guy real quick. Or we'll put you up against number 8 and then jump you to a title shot. So I don't give. If they really wanted to test him like a real test, Kelvin Gastelum, because that's a guy that you have to earn a victory against.
Ooh, that's a tough fight, though.
Exactly. Like if that's a test that you want to do, like that's a test. But
if he fights Kevin, he beats Kev. Izzy's next.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But I'd rather him do Till. I'd rather him do Till.
I'd rather him fight Till too.
I want Till. If you want to do, since he also just won, so it kind of lines up. Marvin Vettori, who's number 5, just beat Hermanson. So if you want to kind of do two guys on the come up at the same time to kind of build the next challenger, possibly.
Oh no, I don't think they want. I don't think Vettori will take that because Kevin's ranked under him. I don't think he's gunning for Izzy at this point. So he's going to want somebody within the top 2.
To me, I want Darren Till. That's the fight to make for me because you're not getting
his last 2.
No, he only lost his last one to Whitaker.
Okay.
He beat who did he beat right before that? Someone good. He beat someone good at 185 right before. He beat Gastelum. That's who he beat.
Okay.
So he beat Kelvin, and then he lost to Whitaker, what was basically we thought was going to be a title eliminator, but
Yeah.
Izzy about to head up 205 still. At least that's what it seems like is still the plan. So either way, I'm here for Kevin Holland, Darren Till. Maybe I know Weidman and Uriah Hall are fighting soon, so maybe they want to do the winner of that. I'm not mad at that. Derek Brunson's around. Derek Brunson likes to.
He called out Derek Brunson actually.
I'm not mad because Derek loves to be like, oh, this little young dude. Okay, send him to me. Sometimes it goes well, like it did with Shabazian. Sometimes it goes like it did against Izzy. So you never quite know.
I was about to say, I kind of see. They're not. I don't want to say that. Never mind. But I kind of see him having more trouble with Kevin Holland, especially seeing his ground game. Like that was the biggest. The knockout was cool, but
he's trained by Travis Lutter.
Huh?
He's trained by Travis Lutter. Kevin Holland is trained by Travis Lutter, who's a ridiculously good jiu-jitsu person. So
right,
yeah, his ground game, it's
the transitions that he was like from the triangle to the armbar, and Susan kind of was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that Derek Brunson fight. I think it's going to be a tough one for. He likes the show, but Derek, you my man's, but.
I'm here for the fight. The only reason I don't care for it is that it'd be another one. My brother's big on this. I'm not as big, but sometimes it is kind of true. They like to throw them good black people up against each other.
Yeah,
they like kind of like do that sometimes.
Yeah,
and I don't want that. That's why I'm more for Till. And Till has a bigger name, bigger cachet that him beating Till would mean more if he were to beat Till. So let me not act like that is some kind of gimme. Darren Till's very, very fucking good. But I like that fight. I like that jump. You got to make the jump at some point. He's already 10. He's already number 10. So you can't just say, we'll just throw. Like, no. Just do it. Let's do it. The man's calling out Izzy, so why not try to put him on that track? And I think if you were to do that and beat Darren Till, then you make the Izzy fight
instantly.
Right.
Instantly.
It is what it is.
What the next fight was? What, the women's fight? Did you watch the fight?
I watched it. It was Mackenzie Dern being Mackenzie Dern. It wasn't anything like, I
saw the last round. Apparently, that was on par for being fight of the night. Actually, before the main event.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was fine, but it wasn't anything that really, really stood out as like, holy crap! Let me watch out. Let me, I kind of know where Mackenzie Dern stands, and she won a fight that she should have won. That's kind of the way I looked at it, but all good by me.
And then we got how do you say his name? Dano, whatever.
Oh, was it Gaines? Cyril. Let's call him Cyril.
Yeah, Cyril. His mama name was Cyril. We call him Cyril. Cyril versus Dos Santos.
Yeah, he knocked the fuck out of Junior. I'm sorry, Junior. Junior, I love you. Junior, I love you. Junior, one of my favorite heavyweights of all time. I rock with you, Junior. You just don't. At some point, you just don't recover from them kind of wars.
Yeah,
and in fairness to Junior, he's done far better than I thought he would coming off those two Kane fights, because he has some good wins under his belt since that Kane fight. But all that adds up, and the elbow that man caught him with was
You didn't think it was behind the head?
It was close.
It was close. I'm not gonna bullshit like it wasn't close.
When I first watched it, I definitely, like, in real time when it happened, I definitely thought it was behind the head. The replays, it seemed really, really close. But when I first saw it, and in fairness, that's very true. In real time, I definitely felt like it was behind the head. Replays made it really, really close. But yeah. still, it's even before then. Junior don't look the way Junior used to look, and that's a given. Like he's much older now. He's been through a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But he's at one of those really weird points where he's still good. Like you give him someone that's ranked 13 or something, probably, and he probably be like them. He is such a name that's hard to put against whatever guys. But these young dudes who are coming up that are real killers, you see what happens. So I don't know what you do with them.
They asked him about cutting him in the press conference when they were talking to Dana. They was like, "Is he one of the names that you think about? Because you said you got all these layoffs,
right?
Is he one of the names that you're thinking about?" And he said, "I'll talk to him." So it might be the last time you see, you know what I'm saying, Dos Santos fighting in the UFC because Dana is cutting everybody apparently. So
right.
You know what I'm saying?
See what happened with Yoel.
Speaking of Yoel.
Yeah, a couple. Big time.
Big ones, too. Bigger than I thought. I kind of knew the Yoel one was going to go through. Because how could you say no to Yoel Romero? Like, I'm not trying to hear what you're trying to say about we don't want UFC cast-offs or whatever. I don't give a shit about any of that. It's Yoel Romero. Like,
fuck UFC cast. If you are cool with signing Corey Anderson, I don't want to hear shit about you being like, "Hey, we really want UFC cast-offs." You got Phil Davis, who never beat anyone. Where like when he got to his real fights, couldn't get it done. Ryan Bader, in fairness, looks better than what he did in the end of his UFC run. But let's be clear, Ryan Bader gave Tito Ortiz like his only UFC win in like his last like 5 or 6 UFC fights. Ryan Bader got absolutely manhandled by young John Jones. And if I'm not mistaken, he fought Rumble too, didn't he, in UFC? Did he fight? I feel like I saw people saying that, but I don't recall if he actually did. But Bader was someone that was never as good as the top guys. Now he's a champ. And he looks better than he did. Yes, actually, he did. He got knocked out in a minute and a half in 2016.
Anymore, apparently.
Huh?
He's not champ anymore. He got beat.
Oh, right. He did. Oh, right. I forgot about that. But he was champ. My fault.
He was. Yeah, he was.
He did lose the Rumble in 2016. Got knocked out. Minute and a half.
It's happening again, most likely. So
yeah, right. And even more surprising is that Rumble's going to fight at light heavyweight. That's the surprise. Is you just assumed Rumble's going to fight a heavyweight because Rumble's a very large human being, and he got even bigger when he wasn't fighting. So I didn't expect him. Did not expect him to be going back to 205.
It's a surprise for me too. But Yoel's fighting at 205 now. So
he should. He's fucking goddamn cyborg. He can barely make what. The reason he never became champion in UFC was because he couldn't make 185.
That's pretty much the only reason.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times it happened. So he should fight at 205. I'm good with that. Rumble's one of my favorite fighters, so I'm always. I'll say this for Bellator: it's gonna make the Rumble, especially. That's gonna make me watch when he fights.
Definitely.
I'm definitely going to tune in. That is a fact. Rumble's my guy. Even though I lost money on him in that last Cormier fight because he fought like a fucking idiot.
Why? I don't understand why you picked him. He got choked out.
So this is
the same way.
It was a weird situation. One of my closest friends, Vita, who always likes to post when I post it up on Facebook. So she might be watching at some point. And she's just getting over COVID. So just tested negative again. Hope you're feeling great. she like I was rooting for Rumble, she was rooting for Cormier, but we both thought the other one was gonna win. So I was like, I'm rooting for Rumble, but I think Cormier is gonna win. And she was opposite. She's like, I think Rumble's gonna get him this time, but I'm rooting for Cormier. And so we were just like, well, fuck it then. But we went to some bar eating wings. It was like whoever wins, the other person's got to cover the tab, and we can drink. So this was about $100 something. This is $100 tab, and I'm a bartender, so I'm a tip like a motherfucker too. So more or less, it was somewhere between $100 to $150 that I ended up having to pay on that tab because Rumble decided he wanted to fucking wrestle a goddamn Olympic wrestler. I don't know why he chose to do that, but he did. So
it's the first time I've seen somebody get picked up by their nose and then choked out. Just Cormier did your man's dirty, yo. I would have retired after that too.
Bad.
I would have been like, yo, I need a break, bro. That was bad.
And you know I rock with Cormier too. I fuck with Cormier. That's my guy. But yeah, he did run bad that one. But yeah, no, I'll definitely be tuning to Bellator for that, for his first fight. I mean, even more so if it's against Romero. But regardless of who he fights, I'm tuned in for that Rumble fight, and that's the purpose. That's what Bellator needs to do.
Right.
So I'm
you think
here.
He's ducking John?
No, they were signed to fight. They were signed to fight. It's completely forgotten. Cormier got the belt and fought Rumble the first time because that's when Jones had the accident, the car accident with the pregnant lady, and like that fight was signed. They had a press conference that was going to happen, and then John got on his bullshit, and then Cormier came into that fight and won. But I look, as much shit as I talk about John Jones, that he wasn't ducking that fight. That was signed. That was supposed to happen. Rumble, damn, I don't think Rumble fought heavyweight against motherfuckers that hit way harder than goddamn John Jones. I don't think Rumble is afraid of anybody. It was just one of those things that fell through the cracks because of everything that happened after. So maybe if Rumble wins, we could do that. Cormier wins. They already got beef. They fought once. Cormier is, or was that before they fought the first time? Now I got my timeline mixed up. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that came after he beat Cormier the first time. And then Cormier called him out again, which I respected because Cormier basically said, I know I'm not the champ. I got to see John. John, get your shit together. We got to do this and embrace it. Didn't work out in his favor, but
no, of course not.
He was ready for it. But yeah, Romero says he was shocked by getting cut by the UFC.
I was too.
I think most people were, yeah. His comments were a little interesting to me. Well, he said that they had offered him guys like Derek Brunson or Uriah Hall.
For
and
what?
He took that. Okay, so you're with him. So that was his. He was like, no, I don't want to fight them dudes. Like, what am I gonna do with that?
See, that's Dana on his bullshit again. See, that's Dana on his bullshit because he knows he can't. You can't trust Yoel to make weight to fight championship at 185. And he's already basically fought the top contenders, but everybody else out of the top 5, you see clearly getting smoked by Yoel. So
I would have been hyped as shit for a Romero Uriah Hall match. I would have been hyped as shit for that fight.
I think Uriah gets destroyed, bro. Like
He very well might. I would have been excited to see that fight. His net of guys on kind of like that borderline top 10 area of any division, male or female, any division, Uriah Hall's name holds more weight than the majority of people in that range. Like that's not. He's a known commodity. He is a known knockout person. Like he still holds a little bit of weight. I didn't see, and Brunson is like 7. Romero was what, like 4 at the time that he was cut. So what's the? I didn't see it as like that big of a disrespect. He basically said he felt, we're still trying to win championship. Agreed. Dog, you just lost in a pretty awful fight, which came off a loss in your fight prior to that. Very close decision, but it was a loss.
Against Costa? I don't know.
Yeah, against Costa. I edged
Yoel in that fight.
It was 2 battle rap shit, 2-1 either way. I'm not
facts.
It was a 2-1 either way. I'm not arguing that. But you are coming off 2 straight losses. You think you're about to fight whoever, right? Like number 2 guy? I don't think they would have got. I mean, the only one I could have seen if they wanted to, because they were both coming off losses, would have been Cannonier.
Okay.
That's kind of the only one I think. So maybe he was kind of aiming for that, and to hopefully jump himself right back into contention. But out of that, you're not making the Whitaker fight again. I don't think Whitaker would have taken that fight anyway.
No.
Right.
No.
I don't think they would have done Costa. I mean, they might have wanted to do Costa again.
Him again, that's the fight though. Like, but that's why I told you that's Dana on his bullshit. Like,
it could be.
You could have made the Romero Costa fight again, and then have him face Whitaker. If it's like you could have gave him another run, but Dana just didn't want to give him another run at the time.
I do agree that Dana didn't want to. Well, I mean, I'm not one to normally defend Dana. I don't know if I'd want him make another run. I can't trust you to make weight in a title fight.
That was my first point, is that you can't really trust him, especially after the performance he had with Izzy, and then all the times he's missed weight. That's why I'm not mad at Dana.
Right. He's had 3 title fights and an interim title fight. He went 1-3, and he won the interim title fight, which was against Rockhold, but didn't get the belt because he didn't make weight in that fight. Like,
right. Yeah, I know.
I'm not terribly mad at the idea of, do I really want him to get in that title fight again? Because I don't know if he's going to make weight. And not only that, if he loses, he's going to sit there and make excuses.
That Izzy fight hurt Romero, man. Like,
hurt him bad. That hurt him bad. Because you were supposed to be, that was your whole thing. You ain't never fought an athlete like me who's going to pressure you, who's going to do this like you too little, and I'm about to show you why you're too little. And then he stood there. And just stood there. Like,
yeah, that's still the funniest shit I've ever seen in the octagon,
and
bro.
Costa did the exact same. Costa literally followed the exact same script. And you get in there, and they stood there. Like, nah. That
in fairness to Yoel, whenever Izzy got close, he threw a bomb at him and connected. So, in fairness to Yoel, I get the strategy, but to just literally just stand there like this,
right,
and then move your hands back and forth,
right.
That's wild. Yeah, I that performance definitely got him cut. Like, I think that's why Dana's on his bullshit, because he like, bro, I give you a title fight, you made me look stupid.
Right.
Like, even Dana was like, don't walk away during this fight and all of that shit.
And let's be clear, you only got that fight because Izzy wanted that fight. Costa got hurt and couldn't do the fight, and Izzy said, who does everyone think is the next most dangerous person? Yoel, give him to me. I don't care that he came off a loss. Give me Yoel. That's why he got that fight. So, hey, he can build his name up a lot in Bellator. Let's be clear. The road is there for him and Rumble to really, really make a serious name, even more so than what they are, because they're both great fighters. So,
quick question.
I'm excited.
Do you make them fight each other? Straight off bat. Just be like, oh, nah, you two are fighting each other. Like that. Like, okay, or at least we on the same page because I thought the same thing too. Like,
don't take that chance. Don't take that chance.
Yeah. You make that fight now. Like, immediately.
Because you never know how someone's going to look. And, some guys come in there and they look great, especially someone like Rumble, who's been off for a while, who's older. And Yoel's older than him. Yoel was like 45 going on 22. I don't know, them Cuban PEDs is no joke or something. I don't know.
I was just about to ask you, USADA's not. No USADA in Bellator, right?
He's never had. I think the only one he did, it got overturned. I'm pretty sure Romero was one of the guys that had a legit, like, no, this was a tainted supplement, and they found the tainted supplement and said, okay, this wasn't on you. Like, you literally should have been good, and they messed that up. If I'm not mistaken. So, but other than that one that got overturned, Yoel's never tested positive for anything.
Yeah, so he's just a freak of nature.
Yes. Precisely. Well,
yeah, if it's him versus Rumble, I'm ordering that card. So
100%. I'm there. Well, as you're speaking on Dana on this bullshit, why, Dana? Why?
I'm gonna let you get your shit off, bro.
I want to know what, like, it's why I respected it was Connor was the one that, like, showed text and shit that Dana was sending him, like, no, that what he's saying isn't true. It's Dana's MO, and it bothers me to no end that he does these things. Oh, they don't want the fight. We tried to make it. We offered it. He didn't take it. So-and-so scared, doing all this stuff. So for those who are unaware, Dana White said that Rose Namajunas, former champ at 125, said, and clear number one contender to fight Weili Zhang, who has not fought since that JoJo fight. And I'm not mad because you probably needed about a year to recover after a fight like that. Dana said that he more or less heard.
She live in China too. Like, they're in Corona shit too. Yeah. And
right.
I wasn't left either. Yeah.
So Dana told BT Sport, I'm hearing Rose doesn't want a title shot. Rose doesn't want to fight for the title. Those were his words. And then he kind of threw that out there because, as anyone remembers, when Rose lost the title to Andrade in that lucky-ass fight, she kind of said she was relieved of not having to be a champion. She's always been mental. She's been pretty open about her mental health issues and that kind of stuff. But then after Dana says that he heard, she doesn't want a title fight, Pat Barry, Rose's husband and manager, said it's bullshit. Said it's not true. He said, we just don't, his exact words are, this is absolutely not true. We absolutely want the title fight. Who would turn down the title fight? We just don't want to air this out publicly. If there's some confusion, they can call us to clear it up. So what that sounds to me is y'all try to do a little negotiations. Rose probably said, we're not doing it like this, or pay me more, or I can't do this date or something like that. Not February, but end of March or something like that. And then it comes out and does this. And it wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last. This is what he does. It's over and over again he does this. And we've seen how many people speak out. Champions, former champions, up-and-comers, vets that are like, that's not at all what happened. That's not true. And this is just the latest case of Dana White. In my opinion, he does this as a negotiation tactic. And I look at it as the exact same. He's doing this as a negotiation tactic to make Rose. You gonna mention, well, if we got to do this, then we got to maybe look at the next one, and that would be Carla Esparza. I like Carlos Esparza. Fuck with the Cookie Monster. She wins, they give her a cookie in the ring. I fuck with it. I like it.
Yeah.
I fuck with it. Nobody is trying to see Carlos Esparza win Lee John.
No.
Like, stop it. Stop it. You're gonna make Rose and Wei Li Zhang. It's the fight. It's gonna happen. I'm very much over Dana's negotiation shit, which is exactly what I see this as.
I'm not. It's entertaining to me. I like it. I don't know why. It just sounds like some shit I would do if I wanted to make a fight. like don't it? It's some instigating shit. Like, all right, these the terms. Nah, I won't do it because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, okay. Hey, yo, she don't want to fight. I've seen Dana's done it time and time. That guy, he doesn't want to fight. He just did it to Whitaker. He just did it to him.
Right.
Like, well, we kind of need to make this fight at 205. I'm trying to fast track this John Jones shit. Yo, Whitaker, sorry, but I'm throwing you under the bus. You don't want to fight, so I'm moving up to 205. I just don't have a problem with it. Like, I feel fighters because you're fighters, so you don't want your promoter to make you look like your pussy or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like,
you don't test my gangster. You don't test my gangster like that.
I totally get it, bro. But to instigate to get you to fight that you want, come on, man. We both know this is a dirty game, bro. Like,
and he's the dirty one. He's the dirtiest of the dirty. That's the problem.
Do we get the fights that we want, Corey?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it at all. We always get the fights that we want. Dana, keep doing what you're doing,
well,
Dana.
Listen, because as you say, we get in the fights and keep doing what you're doing. This here lawsuit that might be coming could be changing a whole lot of things. Because, look, it's a whole lot of things, stuff to go down. I still think UFC will figure out some way to kind of settle some stuff and so many things. But I believe the numbers were something like UFC fighters see 20% of profits from the UFC. Like, if you just running the numbers, that's what it is. And like, that's ridiculous. I mean, but again, he learned that from Vince McMahon. He pulled the independent contractor share from WWE and said, holy shit, that's amazing. We ain't got to give him life. We ain't got to give him insurance. We ain't got to do this. Yeah, bet. Like, independent contractors, but you still work for the company because you can't find nowhere else. But you're independent contractors. And they see like 20%. And for comparison, I believe the split in the NBA, because they have a union, is I think 51%, 51 or 52%, something like that. And apparently, running the numbers UFC are seeing around 20%. So it's not good. It's not. If this lawsuit is able to fundamentally change the structure of the contracts and how UFC does business, it's going to change everything. That's going to be huge. They can pull it off, but it's still in like pretty beginning stages to see if that's going to happen. So Dana might not be able to keep doing what he's doing for much longer. That's all I'm saying.
Well, for right now, Dana, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Ride that train as long as you can, bro.
There you go.
Well, I guess to wrap up the show, we got the last fight card of the year, right?
Oof. And it is. Man, this is about as good of a UFC card as this. I don't know if it's ESPN or ESPN Plus, but this card is stacked.
I wish I could show y'all, but anything I pop up with UFC, we get flagged for. So Dana fixed that, actually. You know what, Dana? Get your shit together.
None of that.
They play no games.
None of that.
I can't show y'all stats of the fight. I can't show you guys literally anything. Which is crazy because it's free promo, but whatever.
Right. They don't play with that. Them and the MLB are crazy with that. Absolutely on everything with all that. But yeah, this card is ridiculous. And it lost its main event. This was supposed to be Leon Edwards versus Chimaev. Was supposed to be the main event of this card. And another fight between Misha Serkinov and Ryan Spann, who are both ranked light heavyweights, was also supposed to be on this card and is no longer on this card. Even without those two fights, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Jeff Neal fighting one of the best welterweight prospects. First fight in, I think, over a year. And actually, I didn't realize this. He ended up getting some kind of infection that even gave him like temporary organ failure or something like that earlier this year. So he's coming off some serious, I guess, well, for lack of a better word, injury shit. But that's the main event. Jose Aldo and Marlon Chito Vera, who y'all will remember beat Sean O'Malley a couple months back and shut him up. That's your co-main. Marlon Moraes versus Rob Font. Crazy fight. Chaos Williams, who we just saw knock Abdul Razak something. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. Clean the fuck out in like 10 seconds. Fighting Michael Pereira, who those who follows the dude that be doing all the backflips, come to the cage. Then I think he was like slapping the dude he fought in the last fight. Open hand slapping the dude. That's a crazy fight. And of course, the last prelim fight, the headline prelim fight, is Anthony Showtime Pettis. That's the prelim headliner. And your boy Greg Hardy is also on this card.
Why he gotta be my boy? Like
he's
I'm just.
He's somebody's boy.
He's getting better. Like I don't know. Like he keeps winning. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like I know people want to see him get his ass kicked, but he keeps winning, bro. Like there's nothing.
It's bothersome. It's bothersome that he is getting better. Okay.
He's getting a lot better too. He's getting better fight by fight. And you know what? You know what the problem is? It's because you know there's a potential that Greg Hardy might be a fucking problem later on. That might be.
Yeah, they keep feeding him these dudes who ain't gonna get in his face. The one real fighter they put him up against beat shit out of him. They put him up against God. I mean, and Tabora, he's fighting Marcin Tabora, who's a longtime UFC veteran. He's got a win over Stefan Struve. I think he beat Andrei Arlovsky. He's been in the cage with Derek Lewis, and like he's a real vet of this game. So I'm not gonna act like he's just some kind of pushover. He's also kind of, if I'm not mistaken, a pretty shorter fighter that's mainly a wrestler. So they kind of. Oh no, he's big. He's 6'3". Never mind. I'll take that back. But he ain't no pressure, dude. He ain't about to get up in your face like that. And
only beat who they put in front of you, bro. Like,
all right, I'm not gonna get too up in arms over it. Card is ridiculous. Jose Aldo, Marlon Vera is fucking. Whew. I'm here. And Marlon Moraes and Rob Font. We just said we had, fight of the year. Either one of those could come out and end up as a fight of the year candidate at the very end of this year. Those are fucking ridiculous fights to have on here. And Wonder Boy, I've always appreciated. Wonder Boy fights are hit or miss. Like you never quite know exactly how it's gonna go. He's had some awesome fights, and then he has that Tyron Woodley rematch that I was there in person for. That was.
Ooh, you were there in person for that?
That was on the Jones Cormier 2 card in Anaheim. I believe that was Anaheim. They had that at. I took a couple edibles that my brother brought and did a lap around the arena looking for a good place to get food. because I was like, there might be something better on the other end. I ended up just doing a lap around the fucking arena, high as shit, because I don't smoke like that. So a couple of edibles is gonna fuck me up.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I very, very vividly remember that. Because again, every card I've ever been to, I've left pissed off, except for the Rousey, the one Rousey fight I went to. But yeah, these fights, people, I don't give a damn if you don't really know these names. This is a ridiculous card, especially on free TV, to end the year.
Yeah, because I remember after 256, I looked at the card. I was like, damn, like,
Right.
like I was like, y'all.
They showed it, and I'm like, whoa. Even like I know another prelim fight with Sajara Eubanks, who was on the Ultimate Fighter when they crowned the 125, when they opened the 125 women's division, and she made the finals. But then she tried to make, or in her quest to try to make weight, she couldn't, and ended up having to pull off of that card. And now she's up at 135 because she really couldn't make 125, no business. But she's fine. Like, it's this up and down. This card it's a cold ass card. This is a fire ass card, and I'm excited because I don't think I got shit else to do on Saturday. So that's when like I said, maybe I'll crack open a bottle of Private 12, and
you'll do that.
We'll see.
Definitely do that for this card. You know, definitely, especially after you see Greg Hardy win. So
I'm gonna take 2 shots if he wins again. I'm gonna pass out and then wake up and try to forget it.
They go ABN Corey. There you go.
I don't like him. That's a line. What he did is a line for me. What that man did is a line for me. I have zero sympathy, zero joy for anything he does.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Call it what you want.
But shit, that's about it. You got anything else?
I've gotten my shit off in this one, so I've got nothing else, man. Just stay safe out there, people. The holidays is coming up. It seems like this vaccine is coming out, and seems like if we do this right, we can start getting a little bit back to normal. So don't do some dumb shit in these holidays, please. Like, please, just my grandma already said she ain't coming here on Christmas. So he was like, nah, I'm staying home. I'll come a couple days earlier, drop off y'all gifts. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Not doing this shit. And I ain't even mad. I'm hurt, but I ain't mad. So stay safe out there on these holidays, people.
Facts. I don't got no positive words for y'all. It's life too short, man. That's my positive word for pretty much the rest of this year, bro. Especially with everything I'm going through, man. Like, life too short, man. Like, that's it, man. But all right, shit, I guess we see y'all next week. No outro music. I'm only going to do that for the intro. We should have some intro music next week, though. Gotta figure out what we going to do for that. But should have some intro music next week. But shit, we holla at y'all, yo.
We done.